Okay, so I'm back to try to have another humorous episode, if I can, making fun of all the things that want to make us cry. Basically, because if you can't laugh at the stupid things that you do, then what else are you going to do? So, if you have ever done any of these things, I want you to raise your hand. I unfortunately can't hold my hand up for 5 minutes like this, or my shoulder will kill me. Especially because I've been trying to practice getting around the neighborhood, which is a whole nother story. So, I would like you, and if people in your house are wondering why you're raising your hand, come tell them to watch the video with you, and maybe they'll understand a little bit more of your frustrations. So, I want you to raise your hand if you have ever ran into a wall, like straight up ran into a wall. I want you to raise your hand if you have ever dropped a glass because you thought you were at the table and you weren't. So the glass just went whooping onto the floor, dimensionally, or just because you didn't see that you weren't at the table. I want you to raise your hand if you have ever missed the toilet. Like almost fell on the floor, missed the toilet. It's crazy how much we think we know about our house until we can't see it. So I have felt the toilet but didn't have enough common sense to realize that I was on the wrong side of the toilet and almost started to sit before I realized that I wasn't quite where I should be, so I had to shimmy over. Raise your hand if you have ever knocked your head against something because you didn't realize how close you were to either the coffee table or the end table, or like when I'm putting clothes away in my end table, for instance, I won't always realize how close I am, so I will lean up to like put something in the top drawer and my head will bam. I don't know if you can see, but I might actually have a couple bruises on my head. I don't usually wear my glasses, I apologize. Raise your hand if you have ever spilled water all over yourself. I was holding I usually drink out of a big cup, but I was holding it in my lap the other day, and I was trying to reach for something, and the water just went whooshing, and I had to switch pants. Well, everything. Raise your hand, speaking of which, if you've ever put your underwear on inside out. If you've ever put your underwear on backwards. Now, you really wouldn't think this would be that complicated. You know, you're holding your underwear up, it feels like the bottom part's in the right direction, and you feel like the inseam is where it should be, and you put them on and you're wrong. I can't tell you how many times I've done that, and every time I do it, I'm like, Christ almighty, this cannot be this difficult. There's got to be a better way. And it's not even color coordinating, because they're going to get me one of those color scanners. I'm getting some stuff for the Commission of the Blind to help out with things. But happens constantly. Raise your hand if you put something inside out. A t-shirt or whatnot. Pajamas, it doesn't matter, inside out. If you have put something on backwards, and I have done this countless times. I'm wearing this on backwards today just to be funny. Actually, the zipper's broken in the back, so I'm going to have to put this one in like this just a cover pile after this, because I'm barely hanging on back there. But again, like, you think you've got the t-shirt in the right orientation in your hands, and you go to put it on and you're like, son of a bitch, this is a v-neck t-shirt, and the v-neck is clearly not in the front. Raise your hands if you have ever put your pants on backwards. This is harder to do, I'm gonna admit. Like, you really gotta try for this one, but it's happened. Like, I will just pick up a pair of pants, especially if they don't have a zipper. So they're like a pair of yoga pants, for instance. So I have 2 pairs of yoga pants from the same company, and one of them has a pocket in the front and one of them has a pocket in the back. Like a little hide-key kind of pocket. And I swear to God, it doesn't matter what pair I grab, I try to feel for what feels like where the butt would be, because I got a little bit back there, so it should be bigger than the front, and it never fails that I put those damn pants on backwards. And you get them up and you do a little squat and you're like, son of a bitch. Like, I have anything better to do right now than change my pants, which is actually true, I don't, but that's besides the point. So raise your hand if you've ever put your pants on backwards. Raise your hand if you have ever squirted toothpaste all over the entire bathroom. Completely missing your toothbrush, but not knowing it until you actually get some on your brush and you just think that that's the first bit of toothpaste that's come out. Come to find out that either your teenage daughter or your husband basically cleaned the entire bathroom and all the toothpaste that you spilled all over the sink. So one of the things we are getting is a little toothpaste clipper, so that should help. Raise your hand if you've ever dropped a towel in a toilet. We have a new shower downstairs, and I keep my towels on the toilet. When I get out of the shower, I reach down and grab one of them. The other day, I took the towels out of the bathroom shower to put them on the toilet, and I forgot to check to see if the toilet seat was down, so one of the towels went whoop, right in the toilet.
Gross.
Exactly, gross. So luckily I have like a little bit of a backup towel that I used for my hair, because I usually one towel for my hair, one for my body. Raise your hand if you have gotten completely lost in your house, or somebody's watching or not watching, it doesn't matter, but it takes you a good 5 or 10 minutes to figure out where the H you are. The other day I was just moving from one couch to the other to get a pillow and back, and somehow ended over by the fireplace and almost nailed my head on the mantle. So these are all things that if we cannot make fun of, if I can't try in the moment to make fun of the fact that I can't get my pants on right, or I put my shirt on inside out and backwards, both, or dropping a glass is not really funny, but most of the time, I only did that once. Now I make sure that it's secure before I let go. That came out funny, but it is what it is. But if we can't laugh at the fact that we're bumping into walls or hitting our forehead on things that we didn't see or don't know is there, that's not our fault. So if we can't look at all of that as humor, then we're gonna be in a bad place. So I have had a couple of frustrating days, but I'm still trying to look at everything with some humor and some balance. So I hope you enjoyed my inside out day of all the stupid stuff you've done. And again, if you had your hand raised for most of that, I think that you should watch this again with your family members so they can maybe have a little bit more of an understanding, if they don't already, how frustrating it can be to not see what seems like common sense has completely gone out the window, because there's no more common sense when it comes to not knowing whether or not something's in front of you that you're going to run into. So carry on, my friends, and please come back. Anybody?
I'm here, hold on.
Bueller?
Mom! Why do so many things at once here, man? Why won't it let me...
Sam, where are you?
I don't know, they all left.
Oh, okay. Well, you should keep the Bueller